Can an oral promise override a written contract? For example, if someone asks you to sign a contract that includes an interest charge for late fees, but verbally assures you, don't worry, just call me if you're late and we won't enforce it. Does that verbal assurance hold any weight against the written contract? Um, there's details to this, and there are rules that govern this. Number one, there's a very important principle in uqud or contracts. Contracts, what matters is al-maqasid wal-ma'ani, laysat al-alfaz wal-mabani. Meaning, if you write things in the contract, what is meant is what is understood by both parties. Because people might misunderstand the language. So it's by both intentions on both sides. This is what the contracts are upon. So that has to be very clear. What is intended by both parties when they have a contract. And that's why even if it's not written, it's a contract. Having said that, still we are responsible for what we say and what we write. Writing in Islam is exactly as saying something. So if a person says, write something, and he agrees to it, that means this is as if he says it. So when someone says, I'll just write it, but then will not act upon it, this is all writing it. That means you have to make sure that you're truthful in what you're signing. And you cannot lie. And the person might say that, yes, and then he dies. The one that wrote the contract, the other side of the contract. And then you're bound by what's in the contract, which has the interest in it, or has the riba in it, or has the haram in it. So these types of things are to be overlooked completely, and it doesn't mean anything, right? And it should be removed from the contract. Otherwise, a person is, and if they go to the judge, or the authorities and things like this, they go by what's written. So a person is responsible. So there's, Allahu A'lam, no difference whatsoever, and both are binding by the person, and the person should sign what's written as if it's been said, and not to have any differences between both. But in a case someone made a mistake, it's a different situation, So so this has to be. Hopefully, it's clear, yeah, inshallah. Allahu musta'an. Plus, hiyal or playing tricks in the deen of Islam is not permissible. It's haram for us to play tricks and to not to be straightforward in matters of contracts and matters of money dealings and things like this. The hiyal, it's a huge chapter in the deen of Islam that it's forbidden completely upon a Muslim to do any form of tricks and hidden meanings and things of that nature, because it's against a sidq and truthfulness.